Hey there again, guys. Sarah here again. Today we are going to talk about the big F word when it comes to ADHD, fatigue. I say that with a smile, but I really despise it. I'm just trying to be pleasant. A couple things. Number one, I'm going to try a new format where I just don't really edit the video and see if you guys like that. And my other disclaimer is I'm not a doctor, so whatever has worked for me or whatever information that I have for you, I have done the research on, but I am not your doctor, so I can't tell you what to do for your health. But anyway, so fatigue is something we all, I'm sure, have struggled with in horrifying amounts, and it's just something that I just get so sick of that to the point of I'm just willing to do anything besides be tired all day. And when you're taking care of your kids, and you're just dragging all day, every day for multiple days, it gets very annoying. So the other day I kind of decided to do this for our next topic on our video, and I was looking up what different causes would be making me so tired all the time. So the first one obviously is ADHD. So if you have ADHD, there's a good chance that you're tired because your brain is working so hard to try to make dopamine, to try to support you, that you're just exhausted all the time, and you're probably overwhelmed and just doing too much. And because you have ADHD, or because I have ADHD, it makes me more tired than I suspect most other people would be. So that was the first one that I had considered. And the second one is your fatigue a symptom of like hormonal imbalances, which can be very difficult to figure out. And this is something I've done a lot of research on, because I came across a really good resource. I'll leave it in the description below, but it's Her Mood Mentor, and she's actually a woman, a doctor who has ADHD, and she talks about pmdd, really, really severe PMS symptoms. And I thought, well, I don't have that. Like, I don't struggle with cramps, really. Like, I don't get bad acne, and I've never had this in the past, but it seems like I'm kind of struggling extra with fatigue during certain times, and maybe it could be my hormones, but how would I know? So her recommendation was to track your cycle. Write down each day how you feel, where you at in your cycle. She talks about how your hormones rise and fall during your cycle. And I actually took one of her courses, and it was really, really eye-opening, because a lot of the stuff we just don't know. We only know the basics, essentially. I don't know anything about when my hormones rise or fall, but I believe that is a symptom of, or a reason why I'm fatigued a lot. So essentially, could be the week or so before you get your period, you could be incredibly exhausted. You could have just stronger symptoms all around. Maybe if you struggle with depression or anxiety, it gets a lot worse. If you do get acne or cramps, my stuff's going away. My papers, I need my papers. Then those things all get really are just accentuated. So and for me, I never struggled with this when I was younger, but I am now, and I believe it could be because I was taking birth control for many years, and that has hormones in it, and it could be altering your mind. It can be altering how your body works. I did a lot of reading on that, and I actually have a really good book. I'll put it in the description below. I read it a while back, but it talks about birth control and what it does to your body and what it does to your mind over the long term. And it's really pretty scary. And actually, after reading that book, I stopped taking birth control. So you can get it at your local library, because that's what I did. I didn't want to pay for it, so I read it. I picked up the library, read it. It was very eye-opening. So essentially, another issue that you could be suffering from is fatigue. Fatigue is hormonal. Hopefully this is making sense. I'm going to go through these different possibilities that may be making you even more tired, and then I have some ideas for you. This probably should have said that at the beginning. But anyway, so other things that could be causing fatigue is sleep issues. A lot of us have sleep issues, whether it's because of our kids not sleeping, or because we can't fall asleep, or we fall asleep and then we wake up and we can't fall asleep and we're just laying there for hours. And yes, I tried the melatonin gummy, and yes, I tried drinking magnesium, and it just doesn't help. But so sleep issues, which a lot of us with ADHD already struggle with, makes everything worse, obviously. So obvious one there. Kids can be causing fatigue. It is so much on our brains to manage what our kids are doing, to keep track of them, to take care of them, to be their emotional support, to do all of these things and, you know, try to check all the boxes and be a good mom. And it is exhausting. It is a hard job. And I think everybody says, oh yeah, it's a really difficult job, but it's like really hard. And you should never underestimate how difficult, and of course amazing, it is to be a parent, to be a mom. And that also fluctuates all our hormones too. Stop blowing away. The other one I had come up with was nutrient deficiencies. I'm sure a lot of us are nutrient deficient in a lot of different places. I mean, they say, I don't know how many people I've talked to, they're like, just eat the food that you need to eat and you'll get your nutrition in your body. And that's just not the case anymore. And, you know, I know that there's really great food out there. There's really healthy, organic, whole food out there. But even if you're trying to eat healthy, there's a really good chance that you're deficient in some places. You might not be able to tell what it is unless you get a blood panel. You might already know that you are nutrient deficient. Like, for example, I knew for many years that I am borderline anemic. So, you know, during my cycle, there's going to be some days where my body is even more anemic, and that makes me really tired. So there's a lot of common nutrient deficiencies, and I always struggled with, am I taking vitamins that are actually getting absorbed in my body? Am I taking these supplements? Are they actually doing anything? Am I taking them at the right time of day? Am I taking them with the right kind of food? Am I taking them with the wrong kind of food? And for instance, with anemia, they're like, oh yeah, take an iron pill every day. Well, great. Take it first thing in the morning. And then, like, you can't take iron with, like, basically any other food. You can't take it with whole grains. You can't take it with dairy. You can't take it with coffee or tea. And, you know, none of that stuff is going to let you absorb it. So I still struggle with those days out of the month when I can tell that my iron is low. And I had to do additional research on that. But one of the things I found out was you have to, in this case for me, I was eating liver really helped. Eating it with sauerkraut first thing in the morning. I know, doesn't that sound lovely? Thankfully I like liver and I like sauerkraut. But anyway, will help bring your iron levels up, I'm hoping. I just started trying it this last week. So nutrient deficiencies could be a big one. I also found another lady in relationship to the doctor who runs her mood mentor, her friend relationship person that they know, started a company that has a drinkable vitamin specifically for women who have PMS or really heavy PMDD symptoms. And I just ordered that as well because she talked about the same thing. She said, you know, we have all these vitamins, but are they getting absorbed? The supplement and vitamin industry is kind of a dirty place. And so I did a little bit of research on her stuff, and it's a vitamin that you drink every day, and it's supposed to get absorbed more. It's supposed to be those micronutrients that us as women are probably deficient in if we seem to be suffering from these, you know, PMS symptoms. And the company that she has is called Marea, Marea. I'll put that in the description below too, as long as I remember. Anyway, another reason that you could be tired all the freaking time is you could be self-sabotaging. You could be doing too many things. People pleasing, having a busy schedule with your kids, you know, feeling the need that you have to cook a hot dinner every night, or you have to exercise every day, or you know, certain things that we place upon ourselves, or go out with friends or whatever. It all wears us out. It all makes us tired. And sometimes, I mean, I'll get to the end of the day and I'm going to sleep and I'm like, I'm not going to get enough sleep. And then the next night I'm like, I'm not going to get enough sleep tonight either. And then I'm doing too many things and I'm just self-sabotaging myself. I'm setting myself up to be exhausted and overwhelmed and burnt out. So you have to, self-sabotage can be going. Okay, so another thing that I found with fatigue is that drinking caffeine might not help you, you know, wake up or feel energized. I keep fixing these pages. It's driving me bonkers. Drinking caffeine doesn't help me at all. It doesn't wake me up. It doesn't make me tired. It doesn't make me jittery. drinking coffee just makes me have to go to the bathroom. So, medication might not be helping with your fatigue either. I started taking medication for my ADHD within the last few months, and I've tried a few different kinds, and I've had, good and bad responses to them. And medication is something that did actually help me wake up and feel energized and have the motivation to go and do stuff. But for the week or so before my period, taking my ADHD medication doesn't do a single thing, and sometimes it makes me feel worse. So whether, if you're drinking coffee or tea or taking your medication, it might not even be helping you with your fatigue. So it might be another factor in your life that's making you so tired. Oh, what else was I going to say about medication? Oh yeah, medication can also be making nutrient deficient. Even though I've also heard that it doesn't do that, I'm pretty sure it does, because I've done a little research on that too. But anyway, another thing that could be causing you to be tired all the time is work. What are you working? What are you doing for your job? Is it something that you enjoy? Is it something that stresses you out? Is it long hours every single day and you come home and you're just burnt out and exhausted? I know a lot of times you can't necessarily help that part of your life, but it is something that you should take a look at if it's making you really, really tired all the time. The other thing is, that might make you tired, is like, what is your house like? Is it super cluttered? Is there stuff everywhere? Is it not organized? You feel like you're spending a lot of time looking for stuff all the time, and you can't remember where you put it, or you don't really have a place for things that you use day to day. Or even maybe your kids' things. My kids think I know where everything is in the house. They're like, Mom, have you seen my blood? I'm like, how would I know where that t-shirt is that you wore, 2 weeks ago in this house? So I did not realize how cluttered my house was, how much stuff was in it, and how much of my house I just really wasn't using because there was just stuff everywhere. It wasn't very functional. And I just didn't really realize it until I started actually cleaning my 15-year-old, her room, because she also has ADHD, and her room is a mess. And I get it, I'm not mad at her. I wanted to help her, but she and I were both so tired and so exhausted. And part of that was just because I have a toddler, and I don't know, having a baby when you're my age, having a baby is exhausting. No, any age is exhausting, but I started having kids when I was like 19, so I feel like maybe I had more energy back then. But anyway, so where was I? So it could be your house that's like foiling you. Okay, so those were essentially the things that can be in your life from day to day that are causing us fatigue, like bad fatigue, not just, I'm a little tired today or whatever, I'm tired this afternoon. It's like actual, tired exhaustion, burnout. Is it chronic? Does it feel like you spend a lot more days tired than you do, energized? And then another thing I wanted to say was, sometimes we feel like we're getting ahead. We may be working on something and doing good, and then you can throw in a crisis and everything changes. So like, you get sick, and we've been sick a lot this year, or allergies, or your job changes, or something changes on at work, or with your kids or with their school, and things like that can just derail any sort of what you were working on, just kind of throw you completely off. So essentially, those were the things that I came up with that I thought would have the biggest impact on the fatigue in our lives. And to give you the solutions, or some ideas for you to find the solutions, really is what it is like, what out of these things seem like, yes, that could definitely be a problem? Like, which things do you feel like you need to work on from the things I mentioned? Your ADHD, your hormones, your sleep issues, kids, we can always work on our kids, nutrient deficiency, self-sabotage, work, and then also your house. And it may be multiple things. So I don't want you to look at them and be like, all of them, it's all of them. Because this can be the part where it's like, well, okay, yeah, all these things are making me tired, but what can I do about it? So you have to just maybe either pick the easiest one or pick the one that's making you the most tired. So which one do you think that you could work on? Now, my next question is really important too. So don't go like, no, you're gonna do this at all. Just shut it off. Just shut up. thumbs down, is like when can you actually spend time thinking about what it is that's making you tired? Because I know when I'm really tired, I don't want to do one more thing. I don't want to think about one more thing. I just need to just do nothing and like lay down and, you know, watch a YouTube video if my kids will leave me alone, which is not possible. So an important part of it is when can you spend a little time working on, or really just thinking about, or maybe doing some research on these things. Hopefully some of the information I gave you is helpful, and some of the information I'm going to put in the description will be a good place to start doing some research. But a lot of times I'll lay in bed at night and I'll think about things like, okay, how was my day? How did I feel today? What did I do today? Why might I have been feeling like this today? And I don't always have the answers, obviously, but usually spending a little time just reflecting on my day helps me to realize, if I'm down in the dumps, sometimes helps me feel better, because I'm like, oh yeah, I did get more done than I thought I would. Or if I'm trying to figure something out, like why am I so tired all the time, it gives me a chance to just think through those things a little bit more, when it's really the only time when nobody's really, like, I don't want to say bothering me, but like requiring my attention. It's really hard as moms to like find any sort of time that somebody's not requiring our attention, whether, you know, we're doing stuff to get ready for something, or throwing time for our kids, obviously, or for our partner, blah blah blah, making dinner, all that stuff. So when can you think about these things, or when can you research them? There's a big truck going by. Big truck. I think it's a garbage truck. It is trash day. Playing with my fidget toy seems to help while I do this video. Okay, so a couple other ideas I had for you were, audit what you do from day to day, because if you're self-sabotaging, you may be doing a lot more than you think you should. There's a hawk over there. And until I really looked at what I was doing every single day and looked at it and said, do I really need to do that? For instance, like I would walk our dogs every day for like 20 minutes, which is great. I think walking is amazing for you. But I was so burnt out and so tired that I couldn't even walk the dogs every day. I would take them outside with me. They'll run around with us. We have a pretty big yard. But I felt bad. I felt bad because I could not take our dogs for this walk every day. But it was one of the things on my day-to-day schedule that I didn't really need to do. I really didn't need to do that. And so I, found other things that I was just doing too many things. That, going places in the evening really, really makes me tired because I'm already wicked tired by dinner time. I don't want to go anywhere. So anytime we would promise to go and do something at that time of day, it was just, I just always felt like crap. So looking at, auditing what you do from day to day, I think is a really important thing. Even if you don't write anything down, just think about what you're doing today, or when you're laying in bed at night, think about, what did I do today? What could I have not done in hindsight, or maybe in my day to day that I did? How can I make my life a little easier? That's what I'm just always looking for ways to make my life a little easier. I don't want to live life on hard mode, and a lot of times we'll just do that to ourselves. At least I do. I must do everything. Okay, so nutrition, vitamins and supplements. I talked about that a little bit. Tracking your cycle was really helpful for me, like really, really helpful. And then also just paying attention, being self-aware. Once I started, whenever I started feeling like crap, I guess I could say, once I had my toddler, and I just wasn't improving, and I was just getting worse, and I was just getting to these really low burnout points. I was not really self-aware. I wasn't really thinking about things. I was just doing stuff, and I had to really take a step back and start paying attention to myself and what I'm doing and why am I feeling like this. And so becoming self-aware and like day to day, trying to stop and think, okay, why right now do I feel like crap? Why do I feel tired? Or why do I feel angry right now? Or why do I feel overwhelmed or like really agitated all of a sudden? Just like all of a sudden it just comes on so strong. Like, wait, why am I really agitated right now? And trying to stop and think about, even if you can't stop, but try to take a moment to think about it and figure out what triggered that thing, and what may have happened to make you feel tired or feel like that is really, really been helpful for me. Obviously I don't remember to do it all the time, but sometimes I do, and it's really been useful. And then also, I hate this word, journaling. I gotta come up with a better word. I just say researching, but yeah, I guess researching is better because I don't usually like write down how I feel. Oh, I always hate writing down how I feel, but I do. So my type of journaling is more like researching. So I have my notebook. This is like my life, my notebook. And I write my schedule in there, but I also write down things that I want to learn more about so that I don't feel tired all the time, for instance. And then I write down what I learned about it. And then I write down, did it work or not? Or here's my plan to help, with, for instance, I wrote down a plan yesterday because I feel like I'm nutrient deficient and I feel like my hormones are really crazy and maybe I have pmdd. I don't know. But I wrote down my plan of like, okay, and it's very simple, very simple. Okay, in the morning, this is what I'm going to eat, my liver sauerkraut thing, because that's the best time to do it. If I don't write it down, I'm going to forget. And then my other vitamins that I got fish oil. I'm going to take that in the middle of the day with food because I don't think I want to burp fish oil if I don't really eat a big breakfast. Oh, can you imagine eating liver and taking fish oil at the same time? Okay. So basically my plan that I wrote down was when I was going to take these vitamins and like what to not do. So like the week before my period, which I kind of know when that's going to be, I just wrote the dates in there so that I don't forget. And I might have even put it in my phone. Don't do this. Like, don't overschedule. Don't try to exercise. Don't go crazy. Just, try to take it easy, eat healthy, and drink a lot of water. Blah, blah. And essentially, that's what it was. So having a notebook or whatever you want to write these sorts of things down is really helpful because we are very forgetful. And it'll help you to see from where you came from, what you found out, what you tried to do, what worked, what didn't work, what you might want to tweak or change as you go. And that has been so incredibly helpful for me as well. What else was I going to say about journaling? Oh, yeah. The other thing that I do is in my phone, the place that I write down my feelings is Obsidian. I use the Obsidian app if I'm having like a really crappy day, instead of trying to tell somebody or like vent, I guess, to one of my friends. I try to write it down in my Obsidian app so that it's not like vomiting terribleness everywhere. So anyway, I think that's about it. I just would encourage you to try to be compassionate about these things, and try not to expect that things are just going to change super fast, but that they will change if you just put a little bit of thought into them. And remember that you are super important. If you are not feeling good, if you are not healthy and energized to the best that you can be, then that's going to affect your family. That's going to affect your kids. And sometimes I think, well, I can't do any of this stuff because I'm helping my kids with such and such, and I don't have any energy after that. And it's like, well, I have to make time for myself because I don't want to be that burden on my family. I need to be strong for them. I need to be strong for my husband, and I want to be. I don't want to feel like crap. So I try to be compassionate, try to remember it's just a little by little sort of thing. But once you start making some progress and start seeing some changes, you are going to be, hopefully it will just motivate you to keep going, essentially. And don't expect that every day you're going to be able to make some kind of change. It's just when you, like I said, when you have the energy and the time to put into it. And then, oh no, I already said that already. Write reminders down, but that's kind of like journaling, like writing down in your journal what you tried and where you've come from, and you will see that you're making progress. And it's a journey. And I think that's all I gotta say right now. I'm sure you guys have some other really great ideas. I can only imagine there's probably so many other great ideas out there, but hopefully this has been helpful for you. I would love to hear what you think you may be struggling with fatigue, and maybe things that you've tried that worked for you, and you know, how stuff works different for everybody. And so I just love to hear back from you. It makes me so happy to hear what you're thinking about too. So all right, I'll see you guys in another bug big bee. Oh, and I wanted to finish all my videos with a little tip. So today's tip is to never sit on a public toilet. Always hover. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.